If you're over 60, chances are you start your day with a comforting cup of coffee, that familiar aroma, that little boost that helps you feel alive and ready. But what if I told you that some coffees, the very ones you might drink every morning, could be silently weakening your bones day after day? Now, I'm not here to tell you to quit coffee, far from it. Coffee has wonderful benefits for focus, mood, and even longevity. But there's a side most people never hear about. Certain types of coffee can accelerate calcium loss, making your bones more fragile over time. If you've noticed your nails becoming thinner, your joints a bit stiffer, or your balance not as steady as before, it might not just be aging. Your coffee could be playing a hidden role in how strong your bones stay. In today's video, I'll walk you through exactly what's going on, and it's surprisingly simple. We'll uncover the 3 worst coffees that quietly drain your bone strength, and the 3 best coffees that actually help protect and rebuild it. These aren't exotic or expensive. They're everyday choices that can make all the difference after 60. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some coffees cause your body to lose calcium, which ones help your bones hold on to it, and how a few small swaps in your morning routine can keep your skeleton strong, steady, and pain-free well into your 70s and 80s. So before you take your next sip, just ask yourself, is this cup building my bones or quietly breaking them down? Because that single question might change not only your mornings, but how confidently you move through the rest of your life. After 60, our bones naturally start to lose some of their strength. It's a normal part of aging. But what most people don't realize is that the speed of this process depends heavily on the small things we do every day. And one of the biggest hidden factors is the kind of coffee we drink. Coffee feels harmless, even healthy. It lifts our energy, sharpens our mind, and gives us that comforting start to the day. But inside the body, something subtle happens with every cup, and it directly affects how well your bones hold on to calcium. You see, caffeine acts like a gentle diuretic. That means it tells your kidneys to release more water and minerals when you urinate. Among those minerals is calcium, the very material your bones are made of. Over time, if calcium leaves the body faster than you replace it, your bones begin to donate their stored calcium to keep your blood balanced. It's the body's way of protecting itself, but at the expense of bone density. This process is slow and silent. You don't feel it happening. But over years, it can quietly make bones thinner, weaker, and more prone to fractures, especially for women after menopause, when natural estrogen drops and bone renewal slows down, or for men who spend less time in the sun and have low vitamin D levels. And caffeine isn't the only issue here. The type of coffee matters just as much. Instant coffees and heavily roasted dark blends tend to be more acidic. That acidity changes the body's internal balance. When the blood becomes slightly more acidic, your body must pull minerals, especially calcium and magnesium, from your bones to restore neutrality. Think of it like this. Your bones are a savings account. Each day you either make a small deposit or a small withdrawal. The right coffee might not hurt your balance at all, but the wrong one, over years, can quietly drain that account until the day you slip or twist your wrist and realize the savings aren't there anymore. Now, this isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Because research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults consuming over 300 milligrams of caffeine daily, roughly 3 cups of strong coffee, had about 5% lower bone density than moderate drinkers. 5% may sound small, but for someone over 60, that difference can mean the line between just a bruise and a fracture. Still, here's the reassuring part. Coffee itself isn't the villain. It's the way it's processed, the level of caffeine, and the extras we often don't think about: sugar, flavor syrups, or those instant 3-in-1 packets. These are what tip your calcium balance in the wrong direction. So, when one person says, "I drink coffee every day," and stays active and strong through their 70s, while another feels joint pain and slower healing, it's not luck. It's chemistry and choice. Your body responds differently, depending on the kind of coffee you give it. The good news, once you understand that relationship, you can keep enjoying your morning cup guilt-free and protect your bones at the same time. In the next part, I'll show you exactly which 3 coffees silently weaken your bones after 60 and why they do it. One of them is incredibly common. Most people have it sitting in their kitchen right now. Now that you understand how coffee interacts with calcium in your body, let's talk about the 3 kinds of coffee that quietly weaken your bones. Most people over 60 drink at least one of these every day, often believing they're harmless, but over the years, they slowly chip away at bone strength without a single symptom until it's too late. The first one is the most common, the one sitting in almost every kitchen: instant coffee. It's fast. It's convenient, and for many, it feels like the easiest way to start the day. But what most people don't realize is that instant coffee is highly processed to make it shelf-stable. Manufacturers roast the beans at very high temperatures, stripping away natural minerals, and then add phosphates and flavor stabilizers to give it a consistent taste. Those phosphates are a silent problem inside your body. They bind to calcium, forming compounds your intestines can't absorb. So even if you're getting calcium from food or supplements, a good portion of it passes right through you. On top of that, instant coffee tends to contain slightly more caffeine per serving than brewed coffee, which means you're also losing more calcium in your urine over months and years. That's like making small withdrawals from your bone bank every single day. A large study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that women over 60 who drank 2 or more cups of instant coffee daily had significantly lower bone density at the hip and spine compared with those who limited their intake. The fix is simple. You don't have to give up your instant coffee. Just limit it to 1 cup a day and have it with breakfast, ideally with milk or a fortified plant drink, so your body has calcium available to balance what caffeine takes away. Now, the second type is the sweet one flavored or sweetened coffees. Think caramel lattes, mochas, or those 3-in-1 sachets. They taste great, but they come with a hidden cost. The combination of sugar, artificial flavoring, and non-dairy creamers sends your insulin levels on a roller coaster. Every time your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin to bring it back down, and that process temporarily pulls calcium and magnesium out of your blood. It's your body's natural balancing act. But if it happens often, your bones are the ones that pay for it. Sugar also triggers mild, chronic inflammation, which damages the bone-building cells called osteoblasts. That's why high-sugar diets are consistently linked to weaker bones and slower healing after fractures. And those creamy additives in sweetened coffees most contain hydrogenated oils and phosphate-based thickeners, the same compounds that interfere with calcium absorption in the gut. So, that morning, caramel latte or your daily 3-in-1 packet may feel comforting, but internally, it's quietly sabotaging the minerals your bones depend on. If you love flavor in your coffee, make it natural. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon, a bit of cocoa powder, or a few drops of pure vanilla extract. You'll still enjoy that indulgent taste, but you'll skip the inflammation and mineral loss. The third kind of coffee that weakens bones is the one many people believe is the purest espresso, especially when taken in multiple shots. A single shot might look small, but it carries about 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine. 2 or 3 shots in a morning can easily push you beyond the threshold where caffeine starts to interfere with calcium balance. Caffeine triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, and when cortisol stays elevated, it slows down the cells that build new bone. Combine that with espresso's naturally high acidity, and your body begins losing calcium faster through urine. Many people make this worse by drinking espresso first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach. At that time, the body absorbs caffeine more quickly, and the acid load hits harder. The result: faster mineral depletion, greater acid stress, and weaker bone formation over time. But again, moderation is everything. If you enjoy espresso, have it after you've eaten, not before. Pair it with water or milk to neutralize acidity, and keep your total caffeine under 200 milligrams per day, roughly 2 small shots. That's more than enough for focus and energy, without putting your bones at risk. So when you look at these 3 coffees, instant, sweetened, and excessive espresso, they share one pattern. All of them either block calcium absorption or speed up calcium loss. And while none of them will cause immediate damage. The effect builds silently with time. It's the quiet kind of harm, small, consistent, and invisible until the day you realize your bones have lost their resilience. The good news is, bones are living tissue. They respond when you change your habits. You can absolutely enjoy your daily coffee and still protect your bone strength as long as you choose the right kinds. Because not every coffee is bad news. In fact, some types can actively support your bones, reduce inflammation, and help your body retain calcium. In the next part, I'll show you those better options. The 3 coffees that help keep your bones strong, your posture steady, and your mornings full of energy, all without giving up the simple pleasure of your daily brew. Now that we've covered the coffees that can quietly weaken your bones, let's turn to the good news. The kinds of coffee that can actually support bone strength. Because coffee itself isn't the problem. The real difference lies in how it's made, what's added, and how your body reacts to it. When you choose the right type, your morning cup can go from being a hidden risk to a small daily investment in your health. The first kind is organic light roast coffee. Most people never think about the roast level, but it matters more than you'd imagine. The darker the roast, the more acidic the coffee becomes, and the more of its natural minerals are burned away in the roasting process. Light roasts, by contrast, keep a softer acidity and preserve more antioxidants and trace minerals. That means your body doesn't have to pull calcium out of your bones to neutralize the acid. Light roast coffee also tends to have a bit less caffeine, which naturally reduces calcium loss through urine. When you combine that with an organic bean, one grown without chemical fertilizers or pesticides, you're protecting your body from unnecessary toxins that can burden your kidneys and bones. The best time to enjoy it is after breakfast, never on an empty stomach. 2 small cups a day are perfectly safe, even beneficial, when paired with a calcium-rich meal or a splash of milk. The second bone-friendly option is decaffeinated coffee, or decaf. For years, decaf had an unfair reputation. People thought it was weak or full of chemicals, but modern decaf is very different, especially when made with the Swiss water process. This method uses only water and temperature, no solvents, to remove about 90% of the caffeine while keeping nearly all the flavor and antioxidants intact. Why does that matter? Because caffeine is what drives calcium out of your body. When you lower caffeine, you lower that drain. Studies from the Harvard School of Public Health found that people who switched to decaf maintained stronger bone density over time compared with those who kept drinking high caffeine coffee. And since decaf still provides the comfort, warmth, and rich taste of real coffee, it's a perfect middle ground for anyone wanting to protect their bones without giving up the ritual. If you're someone who enjoys 2 or 3 cups a day, try making one of them decaf maybe, your afternoon coffee. It'll reduce your caffeine exposure, help you sleep better, and keep your bones stronger over the long run. The third coffee option is a newer mineral-fortified or collagen-added blends. You've probably seen them advertised recently. Coffee with added calcium, magnesium, or even collagen peptides. And while it might sound like just another trend, there's a solid logic behind it. Calcium and magnesium are essential minerals for maintaining bone structure. Calcium builds density, and magnesium keeps bones flexible, preventing them from becoming brittle. Collagen, on the other hand, forms the protein framework inside your bones. It's what gives them their resilience and ability to absorb shock. When you add small amounts of these nutrients to your daily coffee, you give your bones an extra bit of support. Of course, fortified coffee isn't a substitute for a healthy diet, but it's a smart way to turn a daily habit into something that quietly benefits your bones. The key is to choose clean blends, no added sugars, no artificial flavors, no hydrogenated oils, just coffee and minerals. 1 cup of fortified coffee a day is enough, and it can fit seamlessly into your routine. Here's something many people don't realize. The way you pair your coffee matters too. When you drink coffee alongside foods rich in calcium or magnesium, like oatmeal with almonds, yogurt, or even whole grain toast with nut butter, you balance the acidity and keep minerals available for your bones. So rather than worrying about coffee harming your bones, you can make it part of your bone strength plan. At this point, you can see the pattern. Strong bones after 60 aren't just about how much calcium you take. They're about how well your body keeps it. The right coffee helps you do that. Organic light roast reduces acid load. Decaf lowers caffeine loss. And fortified blends add back what time slowly takes away. So no, you don't have to give up coffee to protect your bones. You just have to choose smarter. Each cup can either take something from you or give something back. And tomorrow morning, when you lift that mug to your lips, think of it as more than a drink. It's a message. To your bones, a quiet reminder to stay strong, steady, and resilient for all the years still ahead. In the next part, I'll share how to combine these bone-safe coffees with simple daily habits, movement, hydration, and nutrition, so that your morning cup becomes the foundation for stronger, more confident living at any age. If this information is helping you rethink your coffee habits, I'd love to hear from you. Take a second right now, tap the like button if you've learned something new, and tell me in the comments, what kind of coffee do you usually drink in the morning? Your feedback really matters. Every week, I read your stories and questions to decide which topics to cover next. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Senior Vic Health. This is where we simplify science into practical, everyday steps for people who want to stay strong, active, and independent after 60. A quick click helps the channel grow, and it also helps more people discover simple ways to protect their bones and health, just like you're doing right now. All right, let's get back to the coffees that truly support your bones. Now that you know which coffees protect your bones, let's turn that knowledge into action, because understanding is one thing, but habits are what truly build strength over time. Think of this as your morning bone strength routine. It's simple, realistic, and built around the life you already live. The first step is timing. Always have your coffee after breakfast, never on an empty stomach. When you eat first, you create a natural buffer for your stomach acid and slow down caffeine absorption. That means less acid stress, steadier blood minerals, and better calcium retention. Even something as small as a slice of whole grain toast or a banana before your coffee makes a big difference. Next is hydration. For every cup of coffee, drink 1 extra cup of water. Coffee is mildly diuretic, meaning it makes you lose more fluid, and with that fluid, some calcium and magnesium. Balancing every mug with water keeps your kidneys flushed, your blood volume stable, and your bones hydrated from within. It's one of the simplest, yet most powerful bone protection habits you can build. The third piece is pairing. Whenever possible, drink your coffee with calcium-rich foods. That could be a small bowl of oatmeal with almond milk, yogurt topped with fruit, or even whole grain toast with peanut butter. When calcium and magnesium enter your bloodstream at the same time caffeine does, your body keeps its mineral balance much better. It's not about restricting, it's about partnering food smartly. The fourth step is movement. Bones respond to gentle stress. Each time you walk, stretch, or lift light weights, you signal your body to build and strengthen bone tissue. Aim for at least 30 minutes of low-impact movement daily, a morning walk, light yoga, or even gardening. Combine that with a cup of bone-friendly coffee, and you're giving your body the signal and the material it needs to grow stronger. Next is sunlight and vitamin D. Even the best coffee habits won't help if your body can't absorb calcium. Spend 15 to 20 minutes in natural sunlight each day, or speak with your doctor about vitamin D supplementation if you live in a colder climate. Vitamin D acts like the key that unlocks calcium's ability to enter your bones. And then there's caffeine balance. Keep your total intake around 200 milligrams each day, about 2 small cups of light roast or 1 espresso and 1 decaf. That's the sweet spot where you get the alertness of coffee without tipping your mineral balance. If you ever feel jittery, have trouble sleeping, or notice cramps, those are your body's cues that it's time to scale back. Listen to those signals. Your body is always communicating. Finally, consistency matters more than perfection. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one habit, maybe switching your second cup to decaf, or adding milk to your morning coffee. Every small change compounds. Within a few weeks, you'll feel steadier on your feet, your digestion will settle, and you'll likely sleep better too. Because when your bones are stronger, everything changes: your posture, your confidence, your independence. So here's your simple plan for tomorrow morning. Eat something first. Choose a light roast or decaf coffee. Drink a glass of water. Take a short walk. And remind yourself that every small choice adds up to a stronger you. That's not just good health advice, it's how you stay active, balanced, and free for the years ahead. In the next part, we'll separate fact from fiction, addressing the most common coffee and bone myths people over 60 still believe, so you can enjoy your cup with complete confidence. Before we wrap up, let's clear up a few of the most common myths about coffee and bone health, because there's a lot of confusion out there, and I want you to feel confident about your choices. The first myth is that decaf coffee is unhealthy. That used to be true decades ago, when harsh chemicals were used to remove caffeine. But modern decaf, especially when made through the Swiss water process, uses only water and temperature, no chemicals, no residue. You get all the flavor, none of the caffeine stress. The second myth is that adding milk to coffee blocks absorption. In fact, the opposite is true. A small amount of milk or fortified plant milk actually buffers the acidity of coffee, reducing calcium loss and soothing the stomach. It's one of the easiest ways to make your morning cup more bone-friendly. The third myth, and I hear this often, is coffee always weakens bones. That's simply not true. Coffee only becomes a problem when it's overconsumed or paired with poor nutrition. When you limit caffeine, stay hydrated, and include enough calcium and vitamin D, coffee can easily fit into a bone-healthy lifestyle. And finally, I'm too old for my bones to improve. That's the biggest myth of all. Your bones are living tissue. They rebuild every single day when you give them the right nutrients and gentle activity. It's never too late to start protecting them. So enjoy your coffee wisely, confidently, and with a little more understanding than most people ever get. So, let's bring it all together. We started by learning how certain coffees, instant, flavored, and heavy espresso, can quietly drain calcium from your bones. Then we explored the better choices: organic light roast, gentle decaf, and fortified blends that actually help protect your bone strength. You've also seen how simple habits, timing your coffee after meals, staying hydrated, pairing it with calcium-rich foods, and moving daily can turn your morning cup into a small act of self-care that truly matters. Remember, your bones are alive. They respond to how you live, not how old you are. Every sip, every walk, every good choice is your way of telling your body, I'm still building strength. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. And tell me in the comments, which kind of coffee will you be switching to? Let's keep learning, growing, and staying strong together right here on Senior Vic Health.